Welcome back to Pip and Me. Today is about hunger on one side and honesty on the other. We will see which road our feet remember. Good morning, Pip. We survived the bridge and learned the grammar of warmth. Cedar promised to meet us by the cafe at noon. We will keep that promise like a lantern. The wind is nosy today. My stomach speaks first, but my heart asks better questions. Let's try the bus stop with the long red light. Hello, curb with yesterday's gum and tomorrow's luck. Pip, do you see that under the bench? A wallet thick as summer. Leather that remembers better pockets. I pick it up like it might bite. Cards inside. Photos smiling at us from another life. Cash that looks like a vacation from worry. Hunger starts doing fast math. Socks and soup and a room with a door that locks. For a week, maybe 2. Honor clears its throat. I hear my father saying every hinge deserves a second chance. I hear my mother counting change and counting blessings. I hear the little conscience that refuses to be evicted. Pip, what do you think? Your ears are up and your tail says careful. Your eyes say decide who you are. I open the ID window. A name and an address 2 blocks away. A face that looks like it just told a joke to a camera. I argue in the courtroom of my ribs. One side says nobody will know. The other side says I will. One side says the world owes us. The other side says do not pay it back the wrong way. I breathe and count what we learned. Episode 1 taught us to share the crust. Episode 2 taught us to share the coins. Kindness is a direction, not a deal. Pip, we are taking a walk. We will carry this wallet like a candle. We will not drip on the carpet of our name. If the door is rude, we will still be gentle. If the door is kind, we will learn to receive without shrinking. We pass the cafe window. Maya lifts a muffin like a salute. We wave yes, but we do not stop. The wallet is a ticking choice in my pocket. The hardware store watches us go by. I whisper that we will be back with a broom-shaped hope. The sidewalk nods at ambition on a budget. 2 blocks become a hallway to a test. I practice the sentence that sounds most like me. Ma'am, I found this near the bus stop. No reward needed. Please just remember, we exist. We turn at the mailbox with chipped blue paint. We climb the short steps that feel taller than they look. I knock and hold my breath steady. A woman opens the door with weather in her eyes. Her gaze lands on the wallet like a homecoming. Her shoulders drop 10 invisible pounds. She says, "Thank you," like the word has been waiting all week. I hold the wallet out with both hands. We found it under the bench, I say. We hurried because we know the panic of disappearing things. My name soft, Pip's name proud. She flips through the cards to check her pulse. She laughs and cries at the same time. "You saved my week," she says. "You might have saved my job. You might have saved my rent." She reaches for cash and I step back. "Not today," I say. "Please remember us when you can. We like muffins and chances and careful work." Pip leans into her shin like a blessing with fur. She kneels and calls us decent. She promises not to forget our faces. "Wait here 1 second," she says. We wait on the porch with the test already graded. My stomach is still loud, but my spine is louder. "We are who we said we were," I tell Pip. She returns with a thermos and 2 wrapped sandwiches. "This isn't a reward," she says. "This is lunch and gratitude wearing the same coat. I accept because refusing kindness is pride in disguise." "Thank you for seeing us," I say. We walk down the steps lighter than we came. The sun tries on a warmer tone. Pip trots like the ground just voted yes. Let's head back toward the cafe window. Let's meet Cedar at noon like we promised. Let's tell the ledger of good a new name to carve. Today the wallet taught me something worth keeping. Integrity is not the absence of need. Integrity is the presence of direction. We chose ours and kept walking. Come on, little hero. Lunch first, then the day. Back to the cafe, Pip. Maya sees our faces and reads the news without a headline. She slides 2 muffins and says, "Heroes eat first." I say we're just neighbors who passed a test. She says that's what heroes say. Cedar arrives right on time. He looks warmer than yesterday, which is a kind of miracle. I tell him the wallet story in small bites. He nods like he's carving the words into his own bones. He says that could have gone the other way. I say yes. It didn't. We eat on the curb as if it's a table we reserved. The thermos holds a heat that tastes like being remembered. Pip finishes his half and patrols for smiles. He is very good at his job. A man from the hardware store steps outside to smoke the afternoon. He watches us the way a hinge watches a door it wants to help. He says, "You the one who returned a wallet on Oak Street?" I say yes. He says, "You the one who turned down money and took sandwiches?" I say yes again. He says, "Come by after lunch." He says, "I like people who know where their pockets end and their names begin." The window of his shop is polished today. It throws our reflections back like a compliment. That window has seen us pass 100 times without blinking. Today it looks at us differently. Today it looks like a witness. We finish eating and promise Cedar will ask about work. We promise to carve his name on the bench we haven't built. We promise to show up whether the answer is no, maybe, or yes. On the way, a teenager from episode 2 jogs over. He shows a short video of Pip's head bobs bouncing around 1,000 screens. He says, "Internet loves you." He says, "Stay kind." I say, "Help us keep the comments gentle." He gives a thumbs up that looks like a seed choosing to sprout. We step into the hardware store where everything smells like solutions. The owner leans on the counter like a story he's told before. He says sweeping, stacking, moving boxes that pretend to be heavier than they are. He says part-time to start and more if your name stays clean. I say my name is ready to work. I say Pip will supervise with his tail. He laughs the laugh of a man who still believes in hands. He says I'll put a note in the window. He writes on cardboard with a marker that squeaks like a small promise. Decent man with a good dog, looking for hours. Ask inside. He tapes it where all the walking eyes can read. We stand on the sidewalk and watch strangers mouth the words. Some smile, some nod. One woman points and says that's the man who brought me my wallet. Her voice travels farther than she does. It reaches places my shoes can't. The neighborhood shifts by a degree you can feel but not measure. It is the difference between glass you look through and glass that looks back. It is the window choosing to witness. Pip, we should add more names to the ledger. Maya with the muffins, wallet woman with the thermos, hardware owner with the note, teenager with the 1,000 windows, Cedar with the steady nod. Cedar asks what the moral is today. I say integrity plants seeds. I say the fruit rarely arrives on the same day you do the planting. I say our job is to keep watering with small yeses and clean no's. Evening invites us to play one song on the corner. I strum the stubborn guitar and tell the truth in 4 chords. People pause. Coins clink. A child dances like gravity forgot to send the memo. We count the day in our pockets and in our pulse. We are not rich. We are not the same. Both can be true. Pip curls by my feet while I talk to whoever needs to hear this. Keeping the money would have bought comfort. Returning the wallet bought community. Tonight I needed the second one more. Thank you, City, for learning our faces. Thank you, Window, for choosing to see. Thank you, Hunger, for not making the decision for us. This is the end of episode 4, The Wallet and the Window. If this chapter found you, tap like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so the next chapter finds you too. Next time in episode 5, Music on the Corner, we pick up a broken guitar behind a thrift store and learn why purpose is a paycheck for the soul. Walk with us.